So I want to show you the templates we have created for single posts. First of all, it's always recommended that you include a featured image here via your post settings. You can toggle the settings on and off via the little button here on the top right side on the top. It's the settings button, so you have here the post settings and your blog settings if you have a blog clicked on, or if you want to include blogs. So always recommended to use the featured image here, even though you don't want to show it on the single post, but it's good for your archive pages, for your blog page, the landing page, and also if you want to share this post on social media, it's always cool to have an image with it. Otherwise it doesn't look really attractive and people won't click on it. You can use Unsplash images or other open source resources for images, but it's better than not including an image at all. So here you have your featured image added to the post, and then you see under your post settings, you see templates, and by default, if I open this image, you will have a featured image visible under your title, and then the post content comes. So you might don't want that. It's a great option for horizontal images, but if you have a portrait image, there's maybe I just changed that image to a portrait mode image, so this won't look as great if you keep it for the default template. I show you quickly. So if I include this image, it's super large and it doesn't fit very well for portrait mode. So what you can do is you can choose an alternative template for these kind of posts with portrait featured images. Here we created the template post with portrait featured images. And if you now click on it, you still have your featured image here in your post. But if you update, you see this alternative layout. So your featured image is aligned to the right, and of course it's also responsive. I can show you quickly. So it drops to the right in the tablet mode. And then your content comes. So that's the second option. You can also use posts without featured images. If you just have a short news update, you maybe just want to have a simple post. So this is the design for featured images. And if you'd like, you could go ahead and add the image, the same image here at the bottom of the post, at the top of the post, just as a simple post, not in white mode, and have this as a solution. So for smaller, maybe just a news post, or you would have to add some padding here to the bottom. So this is how it looks if you just have the post without featured images but add an image here. I will delete that for now. And also we have one more template. We've created a template if you don't want to have comments visible. So some people don't have comments active, and this is just an option to not show this gray comment area at all. So if you don't have comments active, you can choose this template. It's the most suitable. So if you want to have this single post without comments, but you wouldn't want to have the big featured image active, you could also actually change that, and you can do that in the editor. I also want to show you in the editor how you can or how you should customize the related post section, because you need to do that in the editor. So if I go in the editor and I go under templates and I see the post without comments template. So it's always helpful if you're in the site editor and you want to edit a more complex layout. If you open this list view here, you can also use the shortcode and toggle it on and off. So if I wanted to go ahead and change this template, I can click on the featured image. If I, for instance, didn't want to use it here, I could just delete it, or I could alternatively make it a little smaller. If I think it's too large, I could go ahead and just duplicate the grid item here and then include it into the grid item just by dragging and dropping. Then I have to delete this content I doubled, and then I can go into the settings. I will get the same settings as I have in the normal block editor here in the site editor, and I would need to change the content for the grid item. So I would I can make this smaller by adding the grid columns just to be 8 grid columns wide instead of 13, and then on mobile I could go full width. Maybe even I would choose to go not full width, as maybe this wouldn't look great. So I can play around with it if I like it or not. I can save this setting. And have I still saved it? Yeah, now the post is not as wide, but of course it doesn't look great to be so totally left aligned. So I would need to go ahead and change that. I actually thought I would need to. So in the desktop, I go maybe 3 columns, 2 columns in, and here as well. And I will do the same layout for tablets. I think this will look better. And then I need to do the same for the site title, because I want to have it aligned. So this is already pretty advanced, but I want to show you that you can totally play around and customize your templates for posts or pages. So as you can see now, I decrease the width, and I want to show you that it's also mobile optimized. And then for small screens, oh, I need to change that. So for mobile, I want to have the post title go over all the columns, obviously. So yeah, I changed that. Then I go a little bit smaller on tablet screens, and I have this layout now. Oops. Customized. So this would be my customized post without comments template. So you can do that for any template, and once you've customized a template, you see this little blue icon here, and if you hover over it with the mouse, you can see this template has been customized. So if you would want to delete that and go back to default, you can clear your customizations by clicking on this little actions button here and clear customizations. This layout could be still changing. This is the first version of the site editor being introduced. I'm not aware if this is the final version or if things still change, but for now this is how it looks. So as you can see, by default, these related posts here is always the last 3 posts you have created. So what for the moment, there's no option to automatically align these blog posts. So what I recommend for the current state of blog themes is that you take this blog post, and we have created a template part out of it, so you don't have to edit each single post template, but you can just go under template post and edit the single related post. And I would recommend you to choose three, like a number of posts, not three, but you can choose a number of posts and give them maybe a tag. I've now created a tag called related. This is just for demonstration. And I open my list view again. I go to the query loop, because in the query loop I can filter my content. I don't know why the layout is so weird. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. I think it's still the beta version of, so I'm using the beta version of 5.9, so there are a few little issues, so we're gonna ignore that. But here now I choose my related tag that I created, so these three posts will be visible instead. And you could also change the title here. Obviously, if you want to work with the theme in a different language, you can translate this to your language. So if I click on this post now, I have the three posts I want to have added, and I can the same layout will be available for all posts. Now, the cool thing is with this being query loop, what I can also go ahead and do is I can change the layout. So instead of it being 3 columns, I could increase it to 4 columns. And then I also need to go here in the toolbar and have my items per post be 4, of course. So you can change that as well, and that's pretty cool. So if I now go on my post, I have 4 posts selected. And as you can see, if I go on another post, this is automatically changed as well. Sorry, this post content is pretty messy because it's an old demo post, demo content I have, but yeah, you can see the related post is changed as well. So that's actually pretty cool, and it all be done in the editor. And here I have my template parts now, and also again I see this little customization notice here popping up, and I see that I've changed my related post. And again, it doesn't matter, it's automatically changed for all the templates included here, for all the single post templates. So that's actually pretty cool. You have a lot more options with blog themes for your single posts, and yeah, you can do a lot more customizations, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, just go ahead and play around with it. And if you're not happy with anything, you can always go to actions here and clear your customizations, and you have the default settings resetted how the theme comes just after activating it.